LPC, Local Prevention Council, in conjunction with the Terryville High School SAD chapter, put on a mock DUI crash in preparation for the prom and party barbecue season. So to prepare for that, we did a mock DUI crash so they get an opportunity to see firsthand the consequences of just a handful of bad decisions. And the scenario itself was laid out so that the person who suffered the worst consequences, the victim who died, who quote unquote died in the scenario, was, during the narration, explained to the kids, was one of the two people involved in the accident who hadn't been drinking, who hadn't made a poor decision other than to get into a car with someone who had been drinking, and we left it kind of up in the air as to whether or not she even knew that it had happened. The driver had been drinking prior to. We capped it off. She hadn't been wearing her seatbelt, which led directly to the ejection from the car. But that's a one minor thing snowballs into another minor thing, and then suddenly you've got something catastrophic. And it really it had a lot of impact, I think, on the kids because we timed it like a real accident. So Webster used auto parts, brought a car in for us. We busted it up a little more than it already was. We put a driver and 3 passengers in it. One of the passengers had been ejected. We put them all the students who participated in it dressed as they were going to the prom, and then we made them up like they'd been in an accident, complete with a girl that had been ejected from the car. She was in a puddle of blood, and we rigged it so that actually she continued to bleed out on the scene. And then we told them, hey, the accident happened. The accident's been found because it was a one-car accident, a car on a stationary object, a building, a tree, a sign, and then we timed it out so that the police arrived in the amount of time. He's like, "Wow, it's taking a long time." Well, that was just the police arriving, and then the fire department arrived. But then there was that gap in time, and so all said and done, the accident was taken care of relatively quickly, complete with putting the injured victims into the ambulance. But it was close to 47 minutes from the moment that it got called in until the ambulance left the scene, which is a considerable amount of time, but relatively fast considering in the middle of the night, and depending on the distances and stuff, the response time can grow. And that's if an accident is found. In a one-car accident, the time, we explained to the kids, that was because it was found relatively quickly, in our scenario. There are scenarios, especially even in the back roads of our local town, where at late at night you can go minutes or hours before another vehicle passes by. So it was a big wake-up call, and the narration was done by a student who had been involved in an accident in the fall. Through no fault of his own, he was doing the right thing. He was sober. He was driving appropriately. A drunk driver crossed over and hit his car, and him and another student were injured. He had to be extricated, and so I think it, not only them seeing firsthand what he went through and but his words helped wake everybody up.
I decided to help out because I feel like it's a very serious matter about drinking and driving, and we need to be safe during everything. So